Mandalore must rise by itself. We protect our own.
So do we. Sabine.
She's right.
Wait, you're not coming with us?
I'm done running away. My father's on Mandalore. We'll find a way to get him back. And then maybe we can join the fight against the Empire. But right now, I can do more good here.
You've never heard of the Millennium Falcon? Should I have? It's a ship that made the Castle Run in less than 12 parsecs.
Hey everyone, and welcome to
Castle Run Weekly.
My name is Danny.
I'm Heather.
Alright guys, and today we have a pretty cool topic, I think. With all the hype for Season 4 and everything. Obviously a lot happened to Sabine in the last season. So we want to talk about Sabine and the current state of Mandalore.
Yes, because Sabine is one of my favorite Rebels characters. I know she's not one of yours, but she is one of mine.
Well, she won me over a lot more in the last season because, like I told you, I always felt like she was very kind of flat. That even when she tried to show emotion, it didn't come as emotion to me. But they explained a lot of that in the Trials of the Darksaber. Right. Really opened her up and everything. And like I was watching that episode the other night because I think we watched like 6 episodes last night, catching Kristen up on Rebels. And we were watching that one, and like I kind of teared up when she was going about the. I think it was the line where she said the Empire wanted to destroy worlds, and they destroyed mine.
Yeah. And
I was just kind of like, oh man, and I kind of teared up a little bit, and I looked over at Kristen. She goes, "I'm not crying, you're crying." So I mean, I like Sabine a lot more now than I initially did, for sure.
Well, she was trained in the Imperial Academy, so I mean, I can see how her emotion wouldn't exactly be on the surface.
Mm-hmm. And I like that she's not the typical girl character that you see in most things,
right?
Where she's not the and
she's hard and she's
hard, she's walled off, yeah. Whereas it's not the open, free emotion like you normally see the damsel in distress and all this other kind of stuff. She really comes up as somebody who is protected, and right. She knows what she's there to do, and that's all she's there to do.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Hope.
She's worried about me. She won't leave me alone. She gets in my lap and she just.
That's what Ryder's been doing today.
She comes from Mandalore, obviously. Mandalore has a history of the warrior race, and they destroyed themselves fighting a war against the Jedi.
Mm-hmm. So as far as that goes, there's a lot of cool stuff there. Because you actually get a little glimpse into it in the Trial of the Darksaber with Tar Vizsla being the first Mando Jedi, which I thought was really, really cool.
Creates the Darksaber.
Yes, creates the Darksaber. I still want to know how he did it. That's what I want to know, because I think that's really interesting, especially the process that they get their kyber crystals and a lot of other kind of stuff. I wonder, being a Mandalorian, did he find a way to manufacture something different? But that's a different show.
That's a different show.
Yeah,
that
but I
would
mean,
be cool. I mean,
right.
The Darksaber is amazing, and I think that if we could figure out some canon on that, that would be awesome.
Oh, definitely, for sure. I don't know that there's much on there. Maybe we'll see something in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, maybe so.
But yeah, I mean, you have the Jedi-Mandalorian War, which Kanan actually kind of touches on. Kanan and Finn Rao, while they're training Sabine, talks about how the Jedi won that war. I don't know that they ever go into why they went into a war or anything like that. I don't think that's been touched on, but it was sparked by Sabine trying to use Finn Rao's tricks and things like that. And he's like, newsflash, the Jedi won the war with Mandalore.
Right. And it's ooh, burn.
Exactly. Which Kanan's hard in that episode.
Yeah, he is. He thinks his way is the only way. And Sabine shows him there is another way.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. But I mean, yeah, you get to see a lot more of Sabine and a lot more dimension and depth to her character. Which Tia Sakar, who plays Sabine, did an amazing job with that. She's been doing an amazing job with Sabine, but I like that the character finally is something that I feel like as a person I can relate to that, or at least understand, I guess is better to say. But yeah, I mean, Sabine's awesome for sure.
I love, she's got a lot of depth, because even in the very first real episode after, the initial introduction and everything, she's speaking whatever language that was, and you find out she's an Imperial cadet, or she was, and she's an artist, and she doesn't just follow orders anymore. She will follow Hera in the ship to go find out who Fulcrum is. She will do things to ensure that she's not a sheep anymore.
Absolutely. I mean, I completely agree with that. Because I mean, she's been burned. A lot. I loved when she questioned Hera in the beginning.
I did too.
Where she's like, I'm not just blindly following you. I don't know who you think you're talking to.
I did that already. It did not work out. I'm looking forward to seeing more of her weapons.
Oh yeah. Well, I think we will for sure.
I've gotten a clue that we probably will. I'm just really looking forward to that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, we got to see one of the weapons in the season 4 trailer too, with the ATDP that was modified with that Force Lightning electrical whatever,
right?
The Mandalorian fryer. But
a
Mandalorian affectionate name. Yeah, right. But yeah, so I mean, I think we're going to see a lot of her past come back to bite her, because as it stands right now, she is the leader of Mandalore. She won the Darksaber fair and square from Gar Saxon, which I thought was a really cool episode, especially when you think that she's the one that got shot.
Yes.
And it ends up being Saxon instead. So the way that episode played out was perfect. But yeah, she won the Darksaber fair and square. So she is Mandalore's rightful leader. And I like how even Finn Rao goes to the lengths of saying, well, now you can lead us. She's like, no, I'm just holding on to it until someone comes along.
Right. I just didn't want him to have it.
Exactly, yeah. It's better here. So,
right.
Yeah. So I wonder who could be that leader. Because, I mean, she's kind of the search committee at the moment to find out who will lead them. But I kind of wonder if she'll end up being, even though she doesn't want it, she'll be the leader.
Well, reluctant leaders are usually better because they aren't seeking power. They're just awesome at it.
Right. And I feel she's always been good at leading. Because in all the missions that you see her go on with the Ghosts and the Rebels crew and everything, she's very on target. Not much really shakes her one way or the other, if anything. And so she's very mission focused and just very, hey, this is what we're here to do. And that I think that's going to come into play a lot more with. So I'm trying not to go into Celebration because the whole time I'm trying to discount all that. Yeah,
I'm going to hurt you. I'll reach through these computer wires and I will hurt you.
I believe it. But no, I mean, I really feel like she's going to step up as far as at least as a rebellion leader of some sort. Because, I mean, this is essentially Mandalore's rebellion.
Right. I do worry, though, because in the last episode, Hera pretty much told her, no, we're not going to be able to help Mandalore. And
that made me just as mad the second time I watched it.
Yeah. And, I worry about her because she's going to get a little peeved and Mandalore's going to fall. Mm-hmm. I have a feeling that we know in the trailer they're going to be occupied at the very least.
Right.
And they've been occupied, from the moment Satine died. Mm-hmm. And because then the Republic came and took over, and then the Empire came and took over, and then. So right. It's like, when are they going to be Mandalore again? Because they're this people of honor and,
this pride,
right? Mm-hmm. And I just to see them so taken is hard to watch.
Absolutely. A lot of the way that their culture is kind of reminds me of like Game of Thrones with jetpacks. House Vizsla, Clan Vizsla, all that kind of stuff.
I've not seen it, so I don't know. I'm just starting to read.
Well, I mean, as far as like the families,
right?
Things like that. You have your clans and your families, and they are loyal to each other. And then said house is good with this house because this house helped them do this with whatever, all that kind of stuff. So everybody kind of helps each other, in a way. You still have your warring factions, which obviously we've seen that with Mandalore crumbling pretty much. So yeah. But yeah, I'm interested to see what Mandalore would look like after, really. Because so say they do get it back. What happens then? Do they stay a warrior culture? Do they go back to pacifism?
I don't think they would ever be pacifists again. But I would hope that they would find a balance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because no country can be truly pacifistic, and they can't be truly warrior either without causing issues. So balance is always a key.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I feel like if you're trying to like completely forget your culture, like it's almost like you're rewriting who you are.
Right.
Because they are Mandalorian. This is how they've been for 1,000 years. Doesn't necessarily mean they can't change and modify and evolve with what they need. But at the same time, something's got to give, because pacifism didn't work and the warrior didn't work. So a meld of maybe a little bit of both kind of thing.
Exactly. I mean, you have to be kind and a good neighbor and good to yourselves, but you also have to be strong and ready to defend yourself if you need to. I think she would be very metered in her responses to people, whether or not they are able to get past her wall. You know, she can treat people with fairness and respect until they try to screw her over, and then she would defend her honor and her home.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, so I mean, as far as Sabine goes, like I think that she will still continue to try to find said leader. I wonder if she'll end up turning to Finn Rao, since he was the leader of the Protectors at one point.
Yeah, he would be a good leader too, but I don't think he would take it.
That's true, because when in the Trial of the Darksaber, I know that she was that she tried to give it to him at one point. He was like, "It's
not mine. I didn't earn it."
Right.
He's got just as much honor and pride as she does, and I don't think he would take that.
Absolutely.
He truly believes she's the one to unite the people, and I think that's how it would go if she tried again.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree.
She might try to give it to her mother.
Possibly. But yeah, no, I mean, as far as her mother goes, I mean, I can't really comment.
You can't say because you know
I can't comment. So
anyway,
we're going to leave that there. I do think that her mother would be a good candidate.
I think her mother would be a good candidate too. I just don't think she would be the best candidate.
I don't think so either, because I mean, you've got the history of her giving into the Empire.
Right.
And so she's a survivalist, I think, is more of her. It's how am I going to let my family survive?
Right.
And if it's giving into the next occupation when she has no choice, then she's going to do it. Whereas I feel like Sabine is more inclined to fight back and say enough is enough, because that's been her mantra in life. She's given in. She's let things happen to her. And she's at that point where enough is enough.
Yeah, I'm never going to do that again. I'd give up my family. I'd give up everything to make sure that does not happen again.
Right. Definitely.
Okay. So I want to know if you think there's going to be a thing between her and Ezra. See, I don't. I think Ezra's got a kind of a thing for her, but I don't think it's...
Well, and I don't think that it's really a thing. I think his is more of the teenage boy. Yeah, the crush kind of thing. It seems in season 3 they moved a lot away from that, because Ezra grew up even just so slightly. And Sabine grew up. And so it was kind of like, I mean, she never really seemed to entertain it.
No,
but I mean, she was also doing that mean girl of
right.
maybe she does like him, kind of flirting.
Whenever he was holding on to her when she had the jetpack and they were flying through the canyons and he's like fighting back. I was like, they're trying to revisit that again, and I was just wondering what you thought, because I'm not a huge fan of the idea, but I thought maybe you would have a different take.
Well, I mean, and I'm actually not a huge fan of the idea either, because I feel like it would kind of muddy up their characters, where they already care for each other, right, in a family capacity.
Not everything has to turn into romance. Right,
exactly. Just like we talked about with Rogue One. It doesn't have to be romantic. I feel like Kanan and Hera are the romance that we'll get. I don't see where... And to me, like, even though they're not brother and sister, it would seem a little funny to me. Like, I couldn't ship that just because I know they're not, but the capacity that the show represents them and the way that usually they are to each other, the whole family dynamic, that would be weird for me to see. Even though they're not technically related. So it'd be kind of like a pseudo incest. I don't know. But yeah, it would just be weird. But no, I mean, I don't want them to be a thing. I think that them coming closer in their friendship, as far as trusting each other, their judgment, in this battle for Mandalore. Because I mean, we know that Ezra does partake in that. We've seen that from the trailer.
Yeah, Ezra's all behind him and supportive and everything.
Absolutely.
Even though Hera's not, Ezra's there.
Right, and that's what I kind of want to know too. Is where's Hera? Is it another instance where she brings, like, just like she brought her small squadron in 0 Hour? Did he bring his small squadron, kind of thing, or did he go? Oh, well, no. He, at least Kanan's there. We know that. So I mean, other than that, I mean, I don't know. Just Hera bothers me though. I mean, I know her character's been through a lot, and we've seen a dramatic shift in the last season. With the Katakori and the counter with Thrawn and everything. That was the moment where she seemed to snap.
Right.
And ever since then, she's been military-minded.
Right.
So...
Well, it makes me wonder how she's going to force Sabine into a situation where she's going to be forced to be military in her own right. Because Hera's not there to be the mother figure or... the friend figure that she has been in the past. Well,
in my fear with this upcoming season, which I doubt it, because I mean, I trust Filoni with the story. I don't feel like he's really steered anything wrong, or there's not anything in the story that I would go, you know what, I'd do that differently. There seems to be a reason for most everything. And so not to question his story choices or anything, but I hope that in season 4, Hera doesn't distance herself too much from the crew. Because, I mean, as we've talked about, each of them are picking their own paths. It's like that coming of age. Yeah.
She might distance herself too much from the crew. She might do that very much so and pay for it dearly.
That's true. I don't know. Like, I want to like Hera's character. So I liked her more in the earlier seasons. I don't agree with her choice to say, no, I'm not going to do it. Because, I mean, I've even told you, I don't agree with Mon Mothma pulling that mess. Right. She did it in Rogue One. She's done it in Rebels already, where it's, we're not ready for open warfare. Oh, well, that's probably their play, so we're just not going to play into their hand, or, we just can't help you. You're going to have to go on your own. Right. It's just like, what in the world is the point of the alliance if there's no actual alliance?
Right. What's mine is yours, and what's yours is yours.
Right. Until a certain point. Until it doesn't benefit me directly.
That's what I mean. It's like, as me as Sabine, what's mine is yours. I come to help you in your greatest time of need. And what's yours, well, it's yours.
Right.
It's not mine.
She's literally giving everything and getting
nothing in return.
Yeah. So I don't know, because I don't want that to happen with Hera. Because I mean, obviously she's the one that in some capacity survives, And so I don't want her to be the one that survives. And you're like, you know what? I really can't stand Hera.
Yeah, but people have to learn from their mistakes. And
True.
even though she has made bad decisions, I still love her character and the way her character is going, just because I can see it going poorly and her learning from that.
Mm-hmm.
And I also see Sabine going in a direction and her being able to learn from that she can be a leader. She can, help her people more than anybody else at this point.
True.
She's got the experience, she's got the love, she's got the pride, she's got the honor, she's got everything she needs to push this forward and bring together her people. Even if she doesn't lead them forever, she can at least heal and bring them together and bring the Civil War to an end.
At least begin the uniting of her people.
Right.
For sure. And I mean, the more we talk about it, the more I kind of feel like that's where it's going. Where she will be, even though she's reluctant, she may be the leader of Mandalore, even though she doesn't technically want it.
Even maybe not forever, maybe just for a little while, just while, there's a new election, or who knows what their government's going to be. But maybe it won't be a monarchy. Maybe it'll be a democracy. And maybe she'll push that forward to, no, we are a people, not just a head.
So do you think in season 4 we'll see the restoration of Mandalore?
I think we will. I'm hoping that Thrawn survives it. But I think part of what is going to happen to Thrawn, what's going to happen to Mandalore, is going to be to get back at Thrawn and the Empire, or hope that they don't get totally and utterly destroyed.
Oh yeah,
because I love me some Mandalore, but you kind of wonder where Boba Fett, stole all of his armor from.
Hopefully that's a story for whatever we do after Rebels.
Exactly.
we got to get it eventually.
Yeah.
I don't know about a live action though, because I know there's a rumor of that. I don't feel like there's enough to tell there, because we already technically got a Boba Fett backstory, but
right
with Clone Wars and everything. But yeah,
exactly.
So, yeah.
But yeah, I think that there's a lot that could happen, but it doesn't necessarily all. It's not necessarily going to be awesome.
That's true. Well, I was actually just thinking too, and I wanted to know what you thought. So, how do you think Sabine will act if there are clans that hold out on her, that decide not to follow her?
I think that she's going to give them a big chance, but I think exile is probably. I mean, if there's going to be just a few people that are holding out, then she's going to have to do something in an attempt to unify. And those few holdouts are going to have to be exiled, or I don't know. Maybe they will get a vote. Maybe they'll
vote them off the island. No,
vote them off the island. They'll have to eat rats.
Right. I just wonder because you've got to think that not all of the clans and families are going to be on board with
it's impossible
standing
to
up
get
against the Empire.
Everybody
Right.
on board. But those people can have places to go. These people have no place to go on Mandalore. True. If you're not a friend of the Empire, you have nowhere to go. If you are a friend of the Empire, you have an entire galaxy you can go to.
Right. Big difference either way.
Huge.
But yeah. So maybe we'll see something akin to Rogue One, where they just decide, hey, you know what, we're going to fight, and then reinforcements. I don't know.
I hate to say a Doctor Who reference, but it would be really cool if they figure out how to disguise the planet so that you can't see that it's there anymore, or they move it somehow in a way where Mandalore can live in peace.
Bendu technically did that with Adelon, where Chopper Base was.
Yep.
Yeah. Technically, that planet didn't exist in the Imperial records.
So, I think that would be ideal, is if Mandalore could come to some kind of peaceful resolution. Those that don't want to be there don't have to be there, and they can leave. And then those that do want to be there are able to mask the planet to where they can live in peace without Imperial rule.
Definitely. Well, and I feel like those who do not want to be there, I mean, they'll want to be on the planet because, I mean, they're all a proud people.
Right.
They're all, hey, we are Mandalorian. This is our home.
They also don't want to die.
Exactly. That's true. But I mean, I don't know. I kind of see them ended up fighting Mandalorian versus Mandalorian for a time, at least, rather than
for a time.
Somebody
it's definitely not going to be quick. I mean, war is painful and long and horrible.
Mm-hmm. And if that weapon's any indicator of what's to come, it's not going to be easy whatsoever. No. It's going to be very devastating.
Devastating to the max.
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, you got to believe that that's not the only weapon up their sleeve.
Exactly.
I mean, she actually, Sabine said that she made a lot of weapons.
A lot of weapons.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think that once those that are no longer welcome for whatever reason could find a new home, even if it's not theirs, and as soon as they're gone, you find a way to fix it. I don't know. Filoni's so creative. I feel that he would be able to find a way to let Mandalore live in peace or not, and we could just totally lose it.
See, and I hope not. But I mean, it would make sense why we haven't seen it in original canon or anything either.
That's what I'm saying. It wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's not anywhere in the original canon, and therefore, I can't see how it's gonna really either survive or be known.
Right, because I always feel like when anybody speaks of Mandalore, it's almost legend. Like until we actually got to see Mandalore in Clone Wars, and then with Sabine venturing to Mandalore as well, it's always felt like a distant legend or some kind to me. So, I don't know.
Right.
I hope that's not the case, though. Like, I know Season 4 is going to hurt, but don't hurt me that bad. You can rip out my heart.
Alrighty. So, yeah, I think that, that would be ideal, is if Mandalore could be healed and masked.
Right. I mean, because Sabine needs to have that resolution.
Right. And I think that if it was masked, it would have to be destroyed in a way that wasn't really destroyed, but you think it is.
There you go. To the Empire, it's been destroyed.
Right. Maybe it's Stardust.
We'll see. Sorry, guys. So that is our show for Sabine in Mandalore. So obviously, Season 4, we're going to have to revisit this because a lot's going to develop.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to see Mandalore in action, the fight for Mandalore. I know at least for the first 2 episodes, that's what it'll be, or the first 2-part episode. That's what we'll get to see, a little bit of that action, things like that.
You should.
I'm not going to spoil it. I mean, it is called The Siege of Mandalore, so... but I mean, as far as that goes, so we'll definitely be able to revisit that topic throughout the season. And we're going to be talking Rebels pretty much for like the next however long Rebels is on, so strap in, because it's going to be awesome. Oh yeah, so we've got a lot of cool stuff in the works. And as always, you guys can check us out at KesselRunWeekly.com. We have articles and different things like that on there. Our past episodes are on the website as well. We're looking to get even more content on there for you. You can also check us out on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at KesselRunWeekly. And if you're listening to us on iTunes, rate and review us. Let us know how we're doing, what you like, what you don't like, kind of things like that. If you leave us a review, we may read it on the show. So there you go.
It's awesome. I'm kidding.
But really, no, I'm just kidding. All right, guys. So that's it for this episode. And until next time, my name is Danny.
I'm Heather.
and may the Force be with you.